Welcome to the Awakening podcast with Kelvin Phiri and another episode of Bridges to Prosperity, where we dive deep into Africa's transformation, its future, and the role we all play in shaping it. Today, we're asking a thought-provoking question. Are Africans in the diaspora the answer to Africa's problems? Or are they the people to help Africa get back on its feet? More and more we are seeing African Americans and other members of the African diaspora reconnecting with the continent, visiting, investing, and in many cases settling in Africa. But what does this mean for the continent's development? And what should African nations do to attract and integrate more of their brothers and sisters from the diaspora? Let's explore this. The return of the African diaspora. Throughout history, Africa has seen many of its people taken away, whether through slavery, colonial displacement, or modern migration for economic opportunities. However, in recent years, we are witnessing a shift. African Americans, Afro-Caribbeans, and Africans born in the West are returning, seeking reconnection, investment opportunities, and even a new home. We've seen this movement in Ghana, which launched the Year of Return in 2019, bringing thousands of African Americans to its shores. Rwanda and Senegal have also opened their arms to the diaspora, and in Zambia we are beginning to see diaspora communities investing in real estate, agriculture, and business. But the big question remains: are these individuals the solution to Africa's challenges, or do they play a supporting role in helping Africa rise? Contributions of the African diaspora. Now, let's talk about what Africans in the diaspora bring to the table. 1. Investment and capital. Many Africans in the diaspora have access to financial resources and business networks that can help transform economies. From real estate developments to tech startups, they bring much needed capital into African economies. 2. Skills and knowledge transfer. Education systems in the West have provided many Africans with advanced skills in medicine, engineering, business, and technology. When these skills return to Africa, they can bridge the knowledge gap. 3. Global networks and influence. The diaspora has strong ties in major global markets. These connections can help African businesses expand and find new opportunities on the international stage. 4. A different perspective. Living in different parts of the world gives people exposure to different ways of thinking, governance, and economic systems. When the diaspora returns, they often bring fresh ideas on how to do things differently. However, despite all these contributions, there are challenges. Challenges faced by returnees. Returning to Africa is not always easy. Many in the diaspora struggle with bureaucratic hurdles. Setting up a business, acquiring land, or even getting residency permits can be a long and difficult process in many African nations. Cultural adjustment. While Africa is home, many returnees face culture shock, struggling to reintegrate into local ways of life. Trust issues. Some returnees have faced fraudulent land deals, business scams, or government inefficiencies that discourage further investment. If Africa truly wants to attract and retain more diaspora members, these challenges must be addressed, making Africa more attractive to the diaspora. So, how can Africa make itself a more attractive destination for African Americans and other diaspora members? 1. Improve business and investment climate. African governments need to create clear, transparent policies that make it easier for diaspora members to invest in land, businesses, and industries without excessive bureaucracy or corruption. 2. Provide citizenship or permanent residency options. Countries like Ghana, Sierra Leone, and Rwanda have been leading in offering special residency or citizenship pathways for the diaspora. 3. Strengthen cultural reconnection programs beyond economic incentives. African nations should create structured programs that help diaspora members reconnect with their ancestral roots. 4. Leverage media and storytelling. Many African Americans only hear negative stories about Africa. Governments, media outlets, and influencers should work to change the narrative by highlighting Africa's opportunities, success stories, and welcoming environments. 5. Enhance infrastructure and services. Practical things like good roads, reliable electricity, and healthcare facilities play a significant role in making Africa a viable long-term home for returnees. Final thoughts. The African diaspora has a crucial role to play in the continent's development, but the responsibility for Africa's rise cannot rest solely on their shoulders. It must be a collective effort, governments, local citizens, and returnees working together. The question I leave with you today is this: should Africa look to the diaspora as saviors, or should the continent be creating a self-sustaining system where both locals and the diaspora play a part in its rise? Let's continue this discussion. Share your thoughts with me on social media and let's keep the conversation going.